Hi, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Ali, and we're from the ACO Collective. We'd like to tell you a little bit about our orchestra and the music that we will perform for you in our school's concert. In this video, we'll tell you what you should listen for when you hear us play, and also some fun facts to take away with you.
But first we'll tell you a little bit about us. The ACO Collective is an orchestra made up of musicians from the Australian Chamber Orchestra, or the ACO, and young musicians from around Australia, like Ali and myself. Well, Ali's actually from New Zealand. It's a mentoring relationship where we can play alongside world-class artists and learn about their performance techniques and how they interpret the music that they play. It's like getting coached by Olympic athletes, but in music. When I'm not playing with the ACO Collective, I play in a string quartet, which is 4 people, 2 violins, a cello, and a viola. And I play in the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, which is like a big version of the ACO with brass and woodwind and percussion, and do a lot of freelance gigs as well.
Yes, and when I'm not playing with the ACO Collective, I'm studying at the Australian National Academy of Music. I play the cello, so I'm studying with Howard Penny there, and I'm also doing a lot of freelance work. But on this tour, you will see some different musicians in the orchestra. We have been lucky enough to have Finnish super quartet Metaphor join us for this tour. Metaphor is one of the most internationally successful Finnish string quartets. They travel all over Europe and the world, really, performing in concerts and festivals in places like London, Paris, Tokyo, Spain, Germany, Vienna, just all over, really. They've released numerous CD recordings which have won lots of awards. One was even awarded the Emma Prize, which is basically like the gramophone, the Grammy Awards.
The Grammys.
Yeah, Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
The members of Metaphor play on very old and priceless, distinguished instruments, which include a Stradivarius violin and cello that was made in 1780.
Old.
Very old. They'll explain to you why these instruments are so special during the concert.
So that's who we are. So we're going to talk about the music that we're going to play for you and what you should be listening for during the concert. This is also covered in the worksheets provided for you. Remember, when you're preparing for and listening to the concert, if you think of a question that you want to ask us, write it down. We'll have some time at the end for you to ask us questions, and we'd love to hear from you.
So you'll notice when you see us play that the orchestra is only made up of string instruments, so cello and violin. And there are not that many of us, actually. As you might know, chamber music was historically played in smaller rooms or chambers. It is a very different way of playing, and we don't play with a conductor. So we have to watch each other and move together so that we stay in time and communicate so that we all know what's going on in the piece and we're all connected together and have the same musical intent. For example, our dynamics, how loud or soft we play, changes in tempo. If we go super fast or super slow, we have to really be on the same page.
So one of the pieces of music we're going to play for you is called Jajili, and it is by Australian composer Peter Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe had originally composed this piece for piano only, so it would be great for you to listen to the piano version on YouTube before you see us play it. The string version was arranged especially for the ACO in 2001, which is pretty fancy. Have a think about 2 things. 1. Jajili comes from an Aboriginal melody, and the title means whistling duck on a billabong. When you hear the music, use your imagination and think about what it is in the music that could reflect this title.
2. How do you think the version for strings played by the ACO Collective and this piano version that you're hearing will be different? Think about the textures that the orchestra that will create and the harmonies that we create and how they're different from the piano. Think about what sounds the string instruments make and how you feel compared to the piano version. Maybe it will create different emotions and or create more drama or passion or intensity within the music. And when you do hear the string orchestra version at our concert, think back to what you expected to hear and if that was any different to what you experienced at the concert.
Another piece of music you'll hear is a string orchestra arrangement of Beethoven's String Quartet in F major, opus 135. Opus just means number. It's a fancy way of saying it. There is a funny story behind this piece. A local musician wanted to organise a performance of Beethoven's String Quartet in B flat major, number 130, in his own salon. Beethoven insisted, quite rightly, on charging him for the use of the performance parts. The musician's response was, "Muss es sein?" or "Must it be?" So Beethoven gleefully wrote a little canon for voices, the text of which goes, "It must be, yes, 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 open your wallet."
Yes, yes, yes.
And you will hear the music for this canon in the finale of Opus 135.
The final piece that we'll talk about in this video is Vima by Jaco Cousteau. This original string quartet version of this piece was actually written especially for Metaphor, the quartet that we're playing with. Vima is the Finnish word for a cold wintry wind, much like what we're experiencing here in Melbourne. Have a listen for the fast, improvised background noise in the first section that represents that cold, awful, blustery wind. You'll also hear this at the very end of the piece.
So that's it. Thank you for watching our video. And we hope you have a great time at our concert, and we're really looking forward to meeting you all.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.